Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I have done a video for my channel, and I do want to build back up into bringing out some content. I don't know how often it's going to be, but I do want to bring something out to you guys, and I found this Booktuber newbie tag video, and I thought that would be maybe a good video to do, quick and easy, gets you guys knowing a bit more about me. And I also had my makeup done today, so I thought what a better day to do a video than when I've had a face full of makeup done properly, not by myself, by someone else. But anyway, we're off topic. Booktuber newbie tag. I've been attempting to do some booktube videos for a little while now, but I've never really introduced myself very well. Maybe probably along the way you might put pieces together, but I thought, do you know what, let's do one video going into it and then just say hello to anyone that finds my videos. And if you like them, hello. Let's hope it's the beginning of more to come, but I don't know how long or how often I'm going to be posting. So the first question is, why did I join Booktube? Well, I didn't join Booktube initially. I started to do videos based on health, fitness and well-being, and I think I discovered that I didn't like doing videos on that. I do actually do a podcast on those topics with my friend called the Power of 30 podcast, and I thought, I think I want to do something a bit different for my channel. And in the past couple of years, I've really gotten into reading, so much so that I've had to buy these IKEA little shelf things so I can eventually put more books in front of all these ones as well. Moving everything up has actually given me so much more space, so that means I can buy a lot more books. I joined Booktube because I'm obsessed with watching other booktubers literally talk about books. They might even be talking about books that I'm personally not interested in, but I just find it cozy, comforting and interesting to see what's out there, what other people are reading. Maybe I'll find something that's not in the usual genre that I want to read. And I just thought, well, essentially all these booktubers are giving their opinions, sharing what they love, and that's what I want to do. I really do, I think, talk my friends' ears off on some of the books they need to read, and they are starting to read them, which is fantastic because I need more people to talk to. And I think that's another reason I joined Booktube, is that I might not necessarily always interact, but I can watch fellow readers talk about the books I love and then sort of share that love through their videos. I don't know. I can feel their passion and it fuels my passion for them. So I wanted to join in. I wanted to share what I love to read. I might not be very good at describing or going in depth of the books I like to read as some booktubers are, but I think you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? And I might develop into being a lot better at doing that, I don't know. But I just wanted to join Booktube to share my love of books, quite simply. That's all I want to do, is talk books, share books, all things books. That's what I'm in for. Question 2 is, what's going to be unique about this channel? I don't know. I guess it's my opinions, my thoughts, my love, I don't know, my dislikes. It's just all about what I think with books. I don't know how this channel is going to be unique. I think it's difficult to be unique when you're talking books. I don't know. I'm just going to do my thing and hope for the best, and maybe it becomes unique organically. I don't know. I'm just going to do it. And if it's not unique, I don't mind. If people love it, that's all I care about. If people love to hear what I say about books and want to engage with that, that's all I care about. So I don't know what's going to be unique about this channel, but it's mine. That's what's going to be unique. It's mine. Number 3, why do I love reading? Well, I don't know if you can tell specifically on this shelf here, reading for me is a way to escape. I am a big overthinker. I worry about the smallest things. I let that get, I wouldn't say stressed, but very anxious and just low mood and just down. So I read to escape. I need a book that's literally going to put me somewhere that cannot possibly exist. So fantasy is really, really good for me because it's literally going to be a scenario that can never happen in real life because it's fantasy, but I enjoy putting my brain and myself in that story and pretend that it is real. And that's what I need, because let's face it, at the moment, the world kind of sucks. I just need a way to get away from all that. So books that are just rom-com or just thrillers, I don't know, things that could happen in real life, I can't vibe with, because it's not too magical for me to escape to. So it has to be fantasy, and that's why I read. I need read to get away from it all, just to calm the voices in my head. You see lots of memes out there where people do videos, it's loud crowd noises, and then as soon as they open book, it's just quiet. Literally, that's what it is. That is what it's like for someone that is an overthinker and a worrier. As soon as I open a book, my brain just forgets about whatever it was worrying about, which 99% of the time is absolute nonsense and shouldn't be stuff that I worry about. So to open a book and just forget about it all for a bit is why I read. I need that. I need the escapism. I need the fantasy. I need the magic. So that is why I read. Question number 4, I think. Some of my favourite books. Now, these books behind me are all on my TBR, so I can't tell you if any of these are my favourite books, but I do have a small pile in front of me, as well as my Kindle, because I don't have all my books as physical copies, and I can't remember all of my favourite books, if I'm honest, because I've read a lot, and some of it just kind of from my head. Actually, do you know what? I do have a Google spreadsheet, so maybe I'll have a look on there and see which ones I've read and which ones I do like. So let's start with the pile of books in front of me here. Some of my favourite books, I'm sorry, I'm knocking the tripod there. So the first one, actually no, do you know what? I'm going to go with this one, because this is what got me back into reading. So some of my favourite books, I've already grabbed book number 1 because I like the whole series. The ACOTAR series, I know for a lot of people out there, this series is what got them back into reading, and yes, this is the book that got me back into reading. I bought it because I kept seeing it everywhere on BookTok, BookTube, just anywhere books. I don't even remember how I got it onto watching, or yeah, just seeing these posts, but something happened and I saw this one pop up a lot, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. Now, I am guilty of this. I am a judge a book by its cover kind of girly. I know I shouldn't be, and I am getting better at this, but I was at the time, and this would not have been a book I would have picked up based on the cover. Now that I've read it, I do appreciate the covers a lot more, but at the time I would have been like, what's going on? But this is definitely always going to have a special place in my heart, because, as I say, it really got me back into reading. It's opened my eyes to so many wonderful worlds out there from wonderful writers that yeah, it just has a special place forever. So this is one of my favourite books or series. Another one, also from the same author, the Throne of Glass series. Again, special place. Not as special as the ACOTAR, because again, that really got me back into it, but definitely has its own little special place. I do love this series. I felt like you're on such an adventure throughout the whole 8 books, which I loved. I didn't know where it was going to go. I loved where it went, for sure. So this one is another favourite. Crescent City as well. However, books 1 and 2, brilliant. Book 3, really let me down a little bit. Enjoyed it, but I felt it was harder work to get through, and not in a good way. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Yeah, I think I built it up so much in my head, especially after book 2. I was like, ooh, this is going to be amazing. And yeah, it let me down a little bit. But the Crescent City series, also a favourite. Another one is a book I've read this year, and that is Powerless. Loved this book. I was happy squealing throughout a majority of this book, and it has been a long time. I probably would say since this one. I don't know. There's not many books that actually get a physical reaction out of me. Throne of Glass did, but just not happy squealy, the whole like kicking my feet, which this one did. So I really did love Powerless. I know a lot of people say it's pretty much Hunger Games, which yeah, I get, but I think it's better. I'm sorry. I do enjoy the Hunger Games. I enjoyed that series. But this one had me a lot more. So loved this one. Another one of my favourites is Fourth Wing, of course, Iron Flame. Can't wait for the third instalment. I have actually pre-ordered the third book, Onyx Storm. Why do I have to wait till January? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to that one as well. But this one, I mean, if you've read this, I know a lot of people don't like it, but those of you that do, you know why we like this book, and you know why we like the second book. But Fourth Wing, absolutely love this one, so that is another favourite. Let's have a look on my spreadsheet because Dannii can't remember everything she's read. The War of Lost Hearts by Chris Broadbent, I did enjoy that series as well. I also enjoyed, I've only read the first one, and it is Jenna Wolfhart. I can't remember the name of the book. Forged by Magic. I enjoyed that book. That was a really, really good book, and I really want to read Brewed by Magic as well, and I think she's got another one coming out soon, Mind by Magic, or Mind in Magic. I will eventually get those. I think, I've got hair somewhere on my face, I think I'm going to have to get them on my Kindle because the paperbacks in the UK are more than I'm willing to pay, really. Well, not more than I'm willing to pay, because I am willing to pay it, I just can't at the moment. So I think I'll get the Kindle versions and then eventually hopefully get the physical copies. But that's another book, Forged by Magic. I enjoyed that one. What's some of my other 5-star reads? Oh, The Serpent at the Wings of Night, sorry. I've just finished that 3 books, just finished those 3 books basically, and I really enjoyed those ones. They were really, really good. Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, is that what it's called? The second book in that series, loved that one, brilliant. I wasn't sure where it was going to go and I was a little worried, but I'm glad it ended where it ended. That was really good as well. Mountains Made of Glass, a Scarlett St. Clair book. I enjoyed that one as well. It's a little like fable retelling or something. Enjoyed that one. Very small book, read it in one sitting, fantastic. And I don't know, there's just been so many really good books. So I think they're some of my favourite. Anyway, let's go with those first. They're some of my favourite books so far. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more. I don't have many 5-star plus reads. I think all the ones I've showed you physical copy are definitely all 5-star plus. So yeah, they're some of my favourite reads. I'm going to say they're very obvious favourite reads, but I don't care. I enjoyed them. So if it's stereotypical, if it's like, oh, she's just picking the same things as everyone else, there is a reason. They're good books. So I'm sorry if it's not what you expected, but I love them. So they were my favourite books anyway so far. Another question, what are my challenges? And I think it means what are my challenges with doing a booktube channel? Time. Time is my biggest challenge. And I know I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but I don't know, sometimes it's just so hard to get into the mindset of recording a video, and I think I need to get out of my own head and just record and not worry about if people enjoy it or not. I need to do it for me, and if I'm like, I really want to do a video on this, I just need to do it. So I think time is number 1. Challenge number 2 is myself. Getting past this, my overthinking, worrying brain, and just doing it. Because you hear other YouTubers just say, just do it. And there is a reason, because that's where they started. They just did it because this hair is really annoying me. Because they wanted to share their love, their passion, their interest, whatever it might be. And I just need to do that. So time, my brain, and editing. It's not my favourite. Don't like editing. I will try and edit as little as possible. So some of these videos might be terrible because I just can't be bothered at the moment. I'm not that creatively minded. I'm very creative. I'm a big creative person. But digitally, apparently I'm not very good. So they're the 3 things I think that's going to be my challenge. So we'll see how we go. And I'm just going to try and bring out videos. And I'm trying to do like shorts as well on like Bookstagram and Book Talk, just to try and get me into that mindset of doing something. So if I can't do proper YouTube videos, at least trying to do that to keep me in that rhythm and to build a routine, I think. So do follow me on Book Talk and Bookstagram. I am Danny's Bookish Corner on both, so go follow me. I'll put the link below as well on both of those two. When did I start reading? So I've always been a reader. I don't know. I do have it here. 1 second. So I remember getting this book as a child. I don't know. I was younger, way younger than probably 8 years old. Definitely under 8. I can't remember exactly, but definitely under 8. Went to the library with my grandma and they had some books that they were actually selling off for whatever reason. At the time, my library occasionally did this. I did have a library card as well. I don't have one now, but I went to look at my local library. The selection is not very good. The fantasy section is just one small shelf and there was nothing on there other than what I already have, i.e. George R.R. Martin, and that was pretty much it. So I don't think I'll be getting the library card, which is a shame because I would like to try and read a bit more sustainably and not necessarily always have to buy the books, but at least I'm going to try and do secondhand as often as I can. But this book I purchased when I was, the flare from the, you can tell it's a library book because it's covered in plastic. Can I get it? It's never been taken out since I had this book. It's called, that's not made it any better, Jeffrey the Burglar's Cat. So I want to say that from a very early age, I think I was reading beyond my expected level, if that makes sense. So I was definitely reading harder books than maybe school was anticipating us to read. So I mean, this does have pictures, but not many. So it was a proper book, and I was very, very young when I started reading. Like I say, I was definitely way younger than 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Why did I say 8 o'clock? 8 years old. My brain. So this is a 136 page book, which doesn't sound a lot, but as a youngster is a lot. So I've definitely always been a reader, but I wouldn't say I was always an avid reader like I am now. So it wasn't until 2020, I think it was 2021, when I picked up ACOTAR that I really was like, this is what I've been missing in my life. I have been missing reading. So I've always been a reader, but I would say it was 2021 that I really got back into it. A lot of these books down here, so the Morganville Vampires, I was reading in my teens. So I was reading quite a bit in my teens as well. Vampire Academy, Morganville, Twilight, of course. I think that was pretty much what I was reading. I did start reading the Vampire Diary series, but then got really bored / confused because it was going all over the place. So I stopped reading those. So I was a big reader in my teens, all the same kind of books, really, vampires, teen vampires, there we go. But 2021 is when I really got back into it. That was a long about way of just saying I've always been a reader, but I'm getting back into it now, wasn't it? Anyway, I hope you like that little story. What's the next question? I don't know. Where do I read? So I read wherever I can. I do read on my sofa, which is just here next to me. I do read in bed a lot. I read when I go to my mum's for my lunch break because I'm there for a couple of hours, so I might as well read. Where else do I read? If I had a bath, I would read in the bath, but in my household we don't have a bath. We only have a walk-in shower, which is a real big shame, and I cannot wait to get a bath put in because I will certainly be reading in there. Where else do I like to read? In the car, if I'm traveling, on the plane, train, anywhere where I don't have to look or focus because I'm not driving. Anywhere, really. Anywhere I can read, I will read. Coffee shops. Yeah. But at home, I tend to read a lot on my sofa and in bed. That's where I do most of my reading, so that's where I like to read. And if I'm at home, as long as there's a blanket and a comfy pillow, we're all good. So that's where I like to read. I'm also going to add here ways I like to read my book. So I do prefer physical copies, always will. And I prefer holding a paperback. I love the look of hardbacks, but I prefer reading a paperback. And double points if and I know this book is exactly what I want it to be. Double points if the book is floppy. I love me a floppy book. So the reason I love a floppy book is because it doesn't break the spine, and I can read it without having to kind of do this and just read it, open it small. So I do prefer physical copies, but I did last year purchase, so you can see I've just finished reading this on my Kindle, a Kindle, and this has been really, really good. One, for travel. This is mostly why I bought a Kindle. I was about to go to Seattle for 2 weeks to visit my, I'm sat on the floor and it's really uncomfortable, to visit my fiance's family, his sister and her family. And I was like, well, it's 2 weeks, and I knew I was going to be doing a lot of driving because we went from Seattle to Yellowstone, and we went to the craters as well. So there was going to be a lot of driving, and I wasn't going to be driving because I was too terrified to drive in the UK, in the US. So I was going to be a passenger princess the whole time. So I got a lot of reading done. So I think I read 6 books just while I was traveling. And this Kindle came in handy for that. And I didn't have to worry about charge because it lasted forever. And I didn't have to worry about weight because I didn't have to carry so many books. I just had to carry this. So I do like my Kindle. And I also listen to Audible. Not always my favourite way to listen to or read books, even though you're listening to them. They're good for travelling when I'm driving to and from work, because obviously I can't read, so I do put on a audio for that. But I do prefer reading because I like to put myself completely into it, and I think when I'm listening I kind of can drift off because I'm having to focus on driving and whatnot. So physical Kindle preferred, but Audible is very useful as well. So I do listen to all methods, really. All methods of getting my book fix in, I guess. What are my favourite genres? Fantasy. Fantasy's a big one for me. Let me just pop that back because it's going to really bug me. Specifically romantasy. I am a little bit of a romancy girl, but in a fantasy setting. I don't like rom-coms. Just romance in general, because it's too relatable. I need something magical that can happen that I know won't happen, because then that kind of like sweeps me off my feet, even though I'm not the character, but it feels that way. Does that make sense? So I do like romantasy. That is my big genre favourite. Majority of my books cover that, so I get quite picky. If it's a romantasy, I'm pretty much in there. I have tried to open my world to some less romance books. I know that this one is not a romance. Looking at my shelves, I don't know if I've got any more. I don't think I do, really. I've got a Stardust, but that kind of has a little bit of romance in it, doesn't it? Okay, there's not many, but I'm trying. I'm really trying. My friends do like Brandon Sanderson, for example, and I don't know whether to try, but I know it's a commitment to his books, and they're quite big. And as someone that struggles with non-romancy, I think I need to find something smaller. So I'm gonna try. If you guys know of a really good adventure fantasy that doesn't really have romance in it, that's not the main like genre or the main focus, let me know, and make sure it's either a standalone or not a big series, and they're not like thick books. So if you know of anything like that, let me know, because I do need to try something else, I know, but there's just so many good romantasy out there, so it's very hard. Do I like anything else? I have gone a little bit of dark romance, if I'm being honest. I do have, just above me here, the Never After series. I've only read Hooked, and I did enjoy that. I would say romantasy still was like up here and Hooked was here. It was very close, and because it was a dark romance, it was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready to tread these waters, but it wasn't too bad. I definitely feel like there's some more dark romance out there. Haunting Adeline, I believe, is meant to be a little bit more dark. So I don't know if I'm ready for things like that. I bet I'm gonna read these and be like, oh my gosh. But Hooked was okay. It wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4.25 or something like that. So pretty good, actually. So dark romance a little bit. And I think that's it. Oh, I do like sort of Chinese mythology retellings or Korean mythology or even Japanese. I've not had any Japanese ones yet, but I have read The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, which is a Korean related folktale story. And then I've read Daughter of the Moon Goddess, that series. That was good. And I do have Six Crimson Cranes and Spin the Dawn, those series. I think they're kind of Chinese folktale. So I do like a little bit of that as well. So I guess that's a little bit out there, a bit different. And I've read a Mulan kind of retelling as well, which was pretty good. And that had LGBTQ plus elements to it, which was really interesting. So I've tried to dive a little bit into other realms, I guess. The last question is my book collection. So I will insert a couple of clips of my books that I've taken right here. I don't have many, really, to a booktuber's standard, mostly because I have to be very, very careful on space. I have the first bookshelf is in my hallway. We blocked up a door, and instead of just blocking it up, we made it into bookshelves. And then I have this bookshelf behind me, which is in my living room. And that's pretty much all the space we have for books for now. It's very, very hard to add spaces in my house. There's one more space we are thinking of eventually adding a bookcase, which is actually on the landing of the top of the stairs. Figured we're going to put a little bookcase there as well, adding some more space, but it's going to be a little while until we can do that. So I am limited, and I definitely don't have many books. I'm nowhere near having a library's worth. I think that's 1,000 books, isn't it? Definitely nowhere near. And on the main bookcase, the first bookcase I showed you, there is a shelf that has all of Ross's books on as well. He is an Audible listener. He listens to audiobooks, but he likes to have shelf trophies. I think he's sometimes worse than me. He gets more shelf trophies than I do, and I'm the reader. So there you go. That's my Booktuber newbie tag. Kind of newbie. Been here for a little while, but I figured let's say hello, introduce myself a little bit more, allow a chance for you guys to know me a bit more. Sorry, I'm very uncomfortable now. I'm sat with my legs crossed on the floor, and I feel old because I can't sit like that for very long. Yes, that's me. Hello, I'm Dannii, and this is my booktube channel. Please stick around if you want to hear my opinions on books. As I say, what my scheduling is going to be, I don't know. Please let me know of any books that you know that's not a romantasy but a really good fantasy and isn't a big commitment, because I need to dip my toe in slowly and get out of romantasy. I'm never going to lose it because it is my favourite, but I want to try and open my world to more books. What are your favourite books? Is there some romantasy books that I don't have on my shelf that I need to know about? I don't know if you can see everything, but just let me know, because you might write something down there that I have, which is great because then we can talk about them, or you might tell me something that I don't have and I should really go pick up. So until whenever I do the next video, see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.